Page 9, Cascade of Blessings. Dorje Lopan Zamje Duzon Zubla Chachab Tokson Tempe Singyola Nime Yiki Yatsuchi Onjori Ki Namtrope Kape Chupa Yesu Song Dojo Jepe Yenje Manu Shapaji Ojo Korson Kapecho Mata Jola Jeyi Kape Tasya Kriman Gobe Changchu Senkedo Deshe Changchu Sembala Takwa Somje Lumbu Zera Nongte Genam Gundu De Changchu Chen Sashi Kunshu Jingme Sodan Reza Linchen Yede Jamba Sanje Jendo Mekden Borwa Yendo Namda Shingan Chapash Iran Guru Nendala Kamne Yadarya Temjen Namge Sampara Lohi Checha Chitaba Chechung Tunmong Tepai Cheki Kolo
Zunganje dan ye jung wa re ke jung de su cha da ka tin su nam ji pe na yi pang ko la ma tan bi she ji pe mi to chuma me wo song go ba jin bong go ra de de ko be cha cha lo je de ju wo xin ji lo de ju ren den da ye ju ka da mi ka ba da bi tan bi ji zo tan yin tar zin bi ju som la ma nam la ko cha cha Choose-long de Chuku, de choose-long de Chuku Bombami, also in some position. Dozen of dropping rodents, they can choose the job la chance and chipishes are completely to the but Sablam ticked them as and the bar and then you mailing by la charts and getting some here so long. So, sit along on the bantam. Jimmy Jerino Gola, Kuja, the Rachel James, the Boshavala, another to belong to Shavaro, Bakitwara, Jimmy Chuja, Bola, Kuja, Chibian the Baro, no the ship. Lugiro Mokada, Yenzoya, Zobachi Benelon, Zano, Timbinamala, Kuja, some people on Mala, the Chukatom Balon Java, Yemina, was on. ทุกอย่างมันเรียบร้อยเช่นเดียวเราก็ได้ช่วยกู้บางวันเราจะรู้ว่าเงี้ยเช่นแต่ละเช่นเนี่ยปัจจุบันเราจะตัวเช่นพอเช่นเช่นเดียวเราก็จะตระหนี่เราตัวปัจเจกอะไรสิ่งที่เรา 시럽 진분영된 건데 이게 지금 공화 당도랑 탑라키 건드리야매도 중멜람이 샤블라 자자로 선주께 벌놈 기반에 진로 남라럽여랑도 지 다다다리 오종 선제나 상주 선조 용어의 신기로
You can.
그래서
So I'll recite now. Rinpoche just recited English. Through your great wisdom, you have realized nirvana. Through your great compassion, you willingly embrace samsara. Through your skill and methods, you have realized that they are no different. Peerless teacher, at your feet I bow. I claim to be a rousing bodhicitta, but still it has not arisen in me. I have trained in the path of the six perfections, but have remained selfish. Bless me and small-minded beings like me, that we may train in sublime bodhicitta.
la sens, da, ini, ren da semjung, ne, senada gobjung, shaje ki chasur da do tininga so da tamade. Yes. Ne, da tren garam so tutayang chepur chejre, ne, da sanje shakato ba. Ini da Zambalenda. Ineta kui karasa. Kiawanje, chuchu kongo. Ineta samjiba. Da teta wibutini da chingaranzu. Tuda. Nikap teneta karbatan wotnichi. Yinzang da tringa district ma ani. Judon di kamne yabuto samso. This was the mata. Yes.
Today we're continuing our teachings on mind training. Mind training as practiced within our tradition of the 100-day retreat of mind training. So we've actually come to the final topic of our teachings on mind training today. And also this teaching happened to fall on a very auspicious occasion during the auspicious holy month commemorating the anniversaries of the Buddha arriving on the earth, turning the wheel of the Dharma, and also his attaining complete enlightenment. So because of that, because of this, the unique time and our own fortune to be gathering here in this holy occasion of this month, I thought I would speak a little bit about that.
Ni da kazan laranzu ni tamade ni samdenchi ni babi samdenchi portreto. Ni da samdenchi portela yang ni da karase shiba ni juji samden shiba ni juji samden. Don't have to give something. If you give something, then something sitting out of something is your less.
So in our last teaching, talked about something, meditative concentration. So with meditative concentration, there are three different levels of training in meditative concentration. Meditative concentration of ordinary individuals, meditative concentration of gaining definitive discernment, and the meditative concentration of the realized beings.
Da kita kazan tangaran zog samde gomyak kaps shore da samden te gonduk kaps do ini da chi kalsa da le tango kaps emchi shini na andra tene yang emek shini na andra. Da shini te tini nyamlela ya jerjin tini siti kongshan rabo tenshan rabo da tini shi nyong de kapsa tini something chi yondan de jegyor da yondan de karersuna ni deva any penachis any devata any sarvata mutobak the next and then this jeshi the next nyamnda sorvata the next toltini minawatini yowayores
We talked about meditative concentration in the context of when you're engaging in meditation and how to meditate, like on your cushion, how to meditate. So for beginners starting out in training in meditation, then they train in various forms of calm abiding meditation or shamatha meditation, beginning with a calm abiding meditation with a particular object of focus and progressing into the second phase of calm abiding meditation, calm abiding without a conceptual point of reference, object of focus. And through training in these types of practices, through taking these forms of meditation as one spiritual practice, then eventually you gain levels of stability or habituation. And when this happens, particular qualities that correspond to one's progression through stages of meditative concentration arise. Qualities that pertain to experiences of bliss, clarity, and non-thought or non-conceptuality. And also any number of different types of meditative experiences and feelings can arise.
Sang ma arete solata ki bomba bom jeng mango jig tom mi ndo je khari resena ta ji le ka mangcha samno mangcha ni jig ngara zo be da samba do de ko to go hyuji chakyen dene dela jig da bom jeb de jigo yung 거랬어 팬 통그레스 데레기지 단열대 데레라고 지는 거 속에도 와 데레기지 미색 대화다 데레기는 냠라고 좀 바로는데 다 되는 데라페 아니 가쳐야 침모지지
할레베 가디
할레베 가시 데레 뭐부터 그거다 탈도그다 직 준비라고 돼 인반자 상진 마다 탈투사 대랑 있어. 아니 또 스케치는 되는데 제가 근데 그 갈래갈래 대야 철직니 되네요. 되니 대야 갈래갈래 팔라. 그래서 제 드릴랑에 망고도 봐. 다 니들은 다 철직니 되는 경우는 야요. 다 대용약 탑으로 가르쳐 봐. 아니 다 대라 가르치 다 대라 빼지 마 냠뇨도 다티 냠디 론도 대라 빼 현자치 뭐지 제제 어다 대라 되는 친구가 좀 가르쳐다 이니 어용 명제 마용도 동아제 용나 되니 다 빼면서 가와지 다 도스 제제 제대하지 도와 라서다 대라 강다양다 시반이 저지 쌈데 생이다 더다 민다고 따고 있나 대라 세고 요레스
These days I've seen in America lots of individuals getting into meditation. This trend of people wanting to meditate. And often it seems that the primary goal is to deal with their busy lives and lifestyle. Why do you want to start meditating? Well, I have so much work and I think so much to think about, so much to do, and my mindscape is like becoming narrowed and collapsing down on me. So I need an antidote to that. I need something to help with that. And meditation is the key. I'll use meditation for that. I'll use meditation to help with my overloaded workday, with my too much thinking, with my worry, so that I can be happy and relaxed. Meditation will help with all of that. And they really strive in that way. They really focused and try really hard with meditation, with that really being the main goal, to just alleviate the stress, tension, and overthought of their everyday life. So then what often seems to happen is they practice, they meditate with that as the goal, and then at some point they start having various different experiences arising in their meditation. They'll have states of meditative bliss. They'll have various different forms of meditative experiences. And often they seem to take those experiences as being the ultimate thing. That's it. That's enlightenment right there. And they have such experiences, maybe once, maybe twice, maybe a couple times. And Rinpoche says he's met with many, many people that report the same sort of process to him. They come describing these experiences, describing their focus on meditation, and they often talk about having had one or two really significant, powerful experiences, and then they just stopped. They didn't have the experiences anymore. So often their main question for Rinpoche is, how do I get those experiences back? Can you give me some advice? They came up and now they aren't coming again, so what can I do to have that experience, that taste back? And it's really, indicates the strong clinging and attachment to the flavor of these meditative experiences that arise and are ephemeral by nature. And this whole process of meditation, when you're at that level, is when you're meditating, you do have these experiences, then you're happy. When they do come, then you're happy. Then you think it's going well. When they don't come, then you're upset. You're not so happy. You think meditation's not going well. So that kind of whole process and that style of meditation really can fit within this first category of meditative concentration, the meditative concentration of the immature ordinary beings.
Well, start you down the tender wall. Didn't you any let them over young row? To make it such a so young, yeah, Yabore, catch him what is some of those.
So, generally speaking, when we're starting out for beginner meditators, to have such experiences, to have give rise to meditative experiences is good, and it's also quite important. And it's not just you guys that meditate like that. She says this was his experience too. He went through this process.
Yeah. That August, then Tangaran to the chick any. The so that you don't get him, you go cotes. Someday, nature temple, you have to tag around it. They are something Magomba killing you go, something like Tuesday, convey target.
And these experiences don't tend to arise without any condition at all. They don't just naturally, automatically show up. They are indications of gaining, progressing in meditation, meditative concentration. In particular, they're signs of gaining, stabilizing the abiding aspect of one's meditation. They're signs of progress in meditation.
Young Kashibe Nishatima, then Bodo should chucking. The new young Madame to the chick, the child you to the door to show you how long can. The new better just a long cut so land on it. The leg, the young chick, the young Jane was.
And there are people that get carried away with really stabilizing the abiding aspect of their meditation. They lose complete sense of time, or they'll lose their direction. They'll be on a path going somewhere and they completely lose direction.
Then me that chick was a dead or in the chick man. Then he me ganga and lost the quality of me in the day or that.
Injine.
Injine.
Gompiang.
컵 공점니. 아니 미가 가라살도 컵나 또게 내내가 그래.
Some years ago, Kala Rinpoche was bestowing the Rinchen Tertse, and there were many of us there, many recipients, many Westerners as well. And there was one Westerner sitting, meditating, and so it was a time for a break, like lunch break, time for a meal. Everybody else gets up and goes off, and he stays there. Didn't notice us all leaving. We all go eat, come back, he's still sitting there.
계속 거기 어다 어다 됐어 어다 된다고 까는 어다 된다고 된대 인상한테는 시제도 뭐 도서도 다 됐어 얘네 코란처럼 이직 시험반다고 휴직 저처럼 됐어 남는 쭉쭉 알 갖고 그래도 도서도 코란처럼 다 된다고 들으면 뭐였어.
Kala Rinpoche, after seeing that, told all of us, he said, there's many Westerners like this, practicing like this. And he also said that many Westerners practicing like this that have extremely strong clinging to their practice like this. And to redirect their path is extremely difficult.
그래서 다 드셨던지 강대다 공념성이 돼야 되는데 공념 그다 거기서 내차 내 뜨고 내차 뜨고로 다때 차로 이네 그래서 지 알람서 된다고 지금 소화해서도 이제 같이 지금 맞이 하러 그렇지 하러 왔어.
Such states like that are called extremely deep, or like very deep abiding, or abiding in a state of neutralness, where you can get deeper and deeper into remaining stably and more firmly in the abiding aspect of meditative concentration, where progressively all your sensations begin to dissipate and cease.
desongaram tu pena any ngazo penata shinite and wonder child the cups in that matter so any young Lojong any young didn't roll to us Lojong with the chip matter so ya any Damishiva then it is so Jegom that is on Roger young Maya Lojong to Solia. Any that no then is of Hiwala, she needs rapid them, Lojong, so. Then you run number young Jenny song this song your rest.
Yeah, she will have to.
She need Yabag, Lojong digging, then young buggy trying to get some Malabat bound to the hair.
Yeah. So with calm abiding, once you have a semblance of stability, once you have some stability in calm abiding, then we're to apply the aspect of Vipassana, direct insight. So our stable calm abiding requires then the knowledge that comes out of the analytic meditation that is the aspect of Lojong or Vipassana, direct insight meditation. So we need this other aspect. Once you're able to stably abide, then you apply the analytic meditation, namely to gain the realization of selflessness. So as Shantideva says in the Bodhicharyavatara, the way of the Bodhisattva, the Lojong, the direct insight or Vipassana, endowed with perfect calm abiding, is able to vanquish all enemies of the afflictive emotions.
And then, any that she jigging around to Delaya, and that's it, young Shambata Travic. Any that around to we are any so we are any only any 다음에 또 뵙게. 아니 최담 지지랑이 때나 보야. 근데 다 나서야. 제공된 로고 그래.
So having a calm abiding, a shamatha practice that is free from all clinging to and attachment to one's meditative experiences, then based on that, having that, then you train in gaining the experience of emptiness or selflessness, which is meaning to gain a direct experience of the nature of all phenomena. And in order to do that, you have to apply the aspect of analytic meditation.
그래서 아니 다 기당 나랑 저 아니 다다 나랑 저 남도 라과 되게 녀보라 신이 되게 아니 남도 수파 아니 존재 샘데 템포서로 와 그니 샘데 다 라모야 같이 템포서로 이나양 다네 되는 나랑 저거양 용 그 싸워라고 아니 종인기 촌 종인기 아니 제토요 말에 베르나트니 신난다고 지랄라서 야 매접잖아 그런가 봐 쓰도 봐 이네한테 싸워도 꼬투요 말에 싸워도 대야로 양 차바지 밥사서는 야 모습이 야 차요 그래서 다다 말한 저거 난 또마 가기야 봐대 아니 아주 재밌게 담보대 되고요. 이 눈이 강인 게 다양 공부할 때 니로 눈에 하고 내가 손상 이게 되는 싸비 아니 대양 대체 두요 말이다. 이런 거 라서 벌써 좀 종인 진 두요 말이에요. 양 참사나 코란을 하나 좀바지 쇼. 양 코란을 코로나는 시험바 쇼는 코로나는 진짜 잘하는 거
신내래.
베르다 다당하는 저 에네 내설모도 발라 수고 냠나 시험바 차소나 야 코로나랑 스피기 싸워서 밥 맞이봐 맞지 야 코로나랑 데페나 진짜라고 잘하고 그래 베르다 가서 에네 대화라 시에나 되네 너감 싸워라 시에나 되네 지금 와서 Zukan, Mutopala Hinatini, Zume, Yan, Tendrea, Yonsi.
So generally speaking, training in calm abiding meditation, we are dealing directly with coarse conceptuality and our coarse thoughts and afflictive emotions. And the coarse thoughts and afflictions can be pacified simply through calm abiding. We can vanquish the coarse uprisings of thoughts and the afflictions by working with calm abiding and gaining stability in our mind, namely gaining a semblance of mastery over the mind. But we're not dealing with the root. We're not getting at the very root of the afflictive emotions. It's comparable to fire, through a forest fire. All the trees and everything on the surface can be burned away, but the roots are still there. As soon as there's a rain, then the sprouts will grow again. So calm abiding is like that. It just deals with our thought proliferations and afflictive emotions on the superficial level. It doesn't completely uproot them because simple calm abiding meditation lacks the comprehension of the natural state, of the true nature of reality. And as long as you're lacking that comprehension, then there's no way that you're getting at the real root of conceptuality and the afflictive emotions. So not only can calm abiding not completely uproot and free us from samsara, but it can also become the actual agent that perpetuates our existence in samsara. For example, through our clinging to the experiences that arise through our meditative experiences of calm abiding of shamatha, then that clinging can actually keep us within samsara. For example, it's taught that through clinging to and having attachment to the experiences of bliss that arise through meditation, then that clinging is the primary cause that will propel us into the desire realm. And clinging and having attachment to the experiences of clarity propel us into the form realms, and clinging to the meditative experiences of non-thought propel us into the formless realms.
That's any this on that any that taking about that any don't wrap the jeep something in the so hard let up a jam around so damn it topic shirp this about the love.
Which brings us to the second category of meditative concentration, which is the meditative concentration which clearly discerns the true meaning. So here, meditative concentration which clearly discerns the true meaning is really meaning meditative concentration embraced with vipassana, direct insight, or literally meditation that is embraced with the wisdom that realizes selflessness.
This one, that the anytime around so that so caress. And Chu tamji da kanda pen any dadang dagirgin zimbiki Lojong wa dadang zimbiki lotera da dila tini ngaran so ni cheyong ini sonza penata da yame ta ini ta hin jiong da rang yin ji maru ba de nang yin ini pen ke sere any de nang yin ta any nangwa de tamji yang ngaran so go chi harata ta ngaran so go chi mata makje bitni kabla chi borda yo de ba chi ta shin jian do na nie ji me ba de ni yo de rang ge ji ma do ba o ta pe ta ru ji de ni ma so kar sa ta ta dang ta gi ba de la de ni chi ne rang yin ge de pe ji so ma ro bi ge ho ga ji le wo de la ta de la de ni unique de ta ho de le unique ho de.
So primarily, for this phase, we're looking at the nature of phenomena. So we're analyzing, investigating into all phenomena, including the phenomena of self. So this process of analysis really is broken down into gaining an understanding of what the nature of self is and the nature of my. So it's the nature of me and the nature of mine. So initially we have the nature of self or the nature of me, and then based on having that, then we have the clinging to things in relation to there being a me, meaning my whatever that is. So initially we seek out, we analyze, try to find the actual self, asking ourselves, does the self exist? Does it not exist? And we conceptually analyze in this way until we arrive at the understanding that cannot be, there's no self to be found that can be said to be truly existent. Then likewise, we engage with this for all appearances. And then with all appearances, with our reality, when we don't think about it, when we don't analyze really the nature of how things actually exist, then things appear to be existent. But as soon as we analyze, investigate into the nature of things, then you arrive at a place of not finding anything. Not finding anything in relation to the self, and not finding anything in relation to any given object of analysis. So through this process of analysis, looking into the nature of the existence, non-existence of the self and the things in relation to the self, then that understanding that you arrive at through not finding anything that can be said to be truly existent or truly established is the beginnings of the understanding of emptiness.
Lo cheperjete benata chutamjira ta jigla so any lingyen jebi shiba inzan then dela ta any shirabya sacho ta dela karesena ko shirabla na basom yorma terbi shirab sambi shirab kombi shirab sing deta khanda ta ngara so dudo de kapsa ta ni so da ngara so any Nyamlen da wachi doing the capsule. Any young shall listen. Not only so what the Dangana she will have become yachuas.
So that type of understanding or that type of intellect is literally extraordinary, or better than an ordinary way of seeing things. So because of that, it's that type of understanding that's classified as transcendent wisdom, or wisdom, Shedap. So when we talk about Shedap or transcendent wisdom, there are three subcategories of it. The wisdom that arises through listening, the wisdom that arises through contemplation, and the wisdom that arises through meditation. So that type of insight or understanding is, so within the context of spiritual practice, of meditative practice, we have the two phases of calm abiding and direct insight, Shine and Lojong. So that type of understanding, that insight, is the insight that's garnered through the second aspect of our meditative practice of Lojong, direct insight. Direct insight, or really a literal translation, is higher seeing. And this phase of higher seeing is what we call the training in and realization of Shedap, or wisdom.
Any pena, not so Korean Zawate, Maripati. Any Maripati, any Nyambotala, Karigo, ta shirab jegoya. Benata Nagi Nyambola, Karigo, and Drame Godoa. Then Nagita, corporate research, any Uta Nyambote, so what any ta shirab.
So the fundamental root of samsara is ignorance, or lack of awareness. So the antidote to ignorance or lack of awareness, maripa, is wisdom, is engendering, giving rise to developing one's wisdom. Just like the antidote to darkness is a lamp, the real antidote to ignorance is wisdom.
Ta dela any Jabalata Tangoyang any Tuba Jego. Ya Tuba Jigo Jeb Penguin money, Diggy, Tanda Dela, some of Tanchen. Any ta young younger, and then some of Tanchen, any young the Jego, Denny ta Ache Tanchi.
And to develop this wisdom, we begin by needing to listen to teachings on wisdom, receive teachings on wisdom. But simply listening to teachings on wisdom won't actually be of any benefit. We have to contemplate on the meaning that we've listened to. And not just once, but we contemplate on the meaning again and again. It must be analyzed, turned over, thought about.
Yes, 다 도스 제제니 아니 퇴비게 다데라야 아니 삼빅 오니 다 지가라 소고야 아니 상호당지 제들다 나수양 제고면서 요라 답변 대답이 니롱나 다 해좀해봐 너도 쳐봐 로지게요 다 지금에 전에 추담되지 지금에는 랑지 들도와 배나더니 공니까 되니 엠들 로아메와 뭔가 땜죠 성의 주기 되니 메시지 내용나 되니 다 깨져 되니 다 나주 그서에는 대차요 되니 삼비기직 아니 당하자고 내가 누구 그랬어.
So we contemplate on the meaning of the teachings that we've listened to, that we've received regarding wisdom. And that process is also what we call analytic meditation. So through this process of analysis, of thinking about, through our analytic meditation, contemplating on the meaning of the teachings we've listened to, then eventually you arrive at a understanding, a place of understanding free of any doubt regarding what the natural state, true nature of reality actually is. You arrive at a state that has cut through all imputations and misapprehensions regarding the natural state and how it actually is. So this state is a clear state of understanding of the nature of things, or of emptiness, and also of dependent origination. And the full culmination of this process of the second phase of contemplation is gaining a definitive sense of certainty regarding the unity of emptiness and dependent origination.
다 데라 페이지 쉬바이나 근데 다 말한 쪽 배나 아니 다다 말한 쪽 아니 요르 찍라 근데 다 맞아 찍 생김 잡아 찍 파 다용도 값어 아니 통솔 민자만 보시 차도요 배나다 말한 쪽에 추자고 생자고 찍라야 아니 가시게 아니 니라고도 가시 칼라라고도 가시게 되는 제가 말한 습에다 아니 내 강자고도 다 가시게 제 양마이 바통들이 돈을 빼는 짓을 통한이라고 뭐지 차로고요.
One example for us used to contemplate on is taking any single given object and recognizing that any one given thing is perceived and experienced in any number of different ways by different beings. It's seen entirely and experienced entirely differently. So take water or a plant or whatever. Some may see it as their home, some may see it as food, some may see it as a house, some may see it as their whole land. There's all sorts of different ways. Some may experience it as appearing as nothing at all. So there's all sorts of different ways that one given thing can be experienced by different beings.
Lojong samkin zimbachi. Inayang yang marang so lutela. Yen simkin chang mebagi. Ya korang so yorja wala zimbachi. Sayeda wala chienge. Dene ta pet kisel simkin. Ani te mangbo doas. Ta chicha mangbo doas.
We take our own body as an example. So my body, I cling to and fixate on as being my body. That's what this is. What about all the countless different sentient beings living within this thing? Their perception, experience of it, what I call and cling to as my body is completely different. They see it as their entire world, as their country, as their food. All these different beings here perceive this totally differently.
Yang la so ngola da paya chilo la mo yong do was. Dene baso la sanghe ma bo yong do. Koraso baso kala le tenga do. Nga so konga sa ka do si pa do ba sa che. Na ko ta te da o che ta para so so do. Ta te ta ro nga so pe de che se na wa ta te ba so ta che. Ta so su ge ta pe de che se chi ene. Ta chi le na ma re sa ko re kan da ta so su ge sem de na wa. Dene chi ta te ba chi re de yo ba so sa. Ta te la ene ranging to ba chi dene ta ya jim do. Ore ta te nge ta bu te la ya sa. Te ta ma ra to den ba chi ya bu ne ya ji jim do as. Ta ting sang mong zu gu lu se je na. Dene ma zu den ba de ta so le yo re. Chang mang hyu ta pe ke jo so ko den ba le bu ba. Mo ri je ne ma ra zu zu po de ma su zu po cha sa de be. 혼소 그때는 지 칼라 차사르베 프랑스 그 지 로마 차사르베 맞아 칼 차사르스
Kalach Chaksaris. No need to even mention the bugs and things living within the body. Just consider the things that live outside the body, outside of what we perceive as our body. Insects like mosquitoes and things that they don't see this as my body. They see it as their food. Then they come and they're just trying to eat a meal, and I slap them. They're trying to eat me. With my perception. Again, the point being that in the ultimate sense, in the real sense, there's no one single definitive experience of any given appearance, any given thing. That all things are experienced differently. We call this karmic appearance, or the appearances of mind. In any event, it's just pointing out that any given thing, any given experience appears differently and is experienced differently to different beings. So how can we can't really get to one true thing or one truly existent thing, because any given thing is experienced differently. So these days, one method that's applied around the world to decide what's true, what's right, is through the power of democracy. So what if we were to apply that method to what we perceive as my body? And we'd have to vote on it. So how would that turn out for us? In democracy, it's who, majority decides what's true, what's right. So then who would win? What would this be? Would it end up being my body? Would it end up being the country, the land of some little bugs in there? Or would it be the food of some bugs?
Voilà, so ta tu sira. Ta ona, ta ngaran so ga any. Ta ten ngaran so ga pena any. Ta nga so kan wa de tam che ta sanji ge da wo chi te khari chi ne. So go yo se na. De tam che ta su su ge chi de ro cha go le je na wo. 내 tamchi 소소 rangu ngani ngarangu ngani teko 다치 덴바자고 차득이요. 대ten tel 군접지 덴바서. 요 말이 소요 맞다. 나랑 조금 너 잠드나 소소가 이게 나와 잡나 수모 잡나 나 조금 할 때. 접디요. 다 이나야 다 뺏겨가는 다 메스키로 다더니 나랑서 인데 상지를 갖다 감시 야wan 로이나 그래서 메스키로 망고요 갖다 나랑 찍어 갖다 메스키로 근데 딩에 칼라래 얘는 뒤에더니 거기서 버렸으나 메스키로 저랑 칼 다시 송도 가운데 그래서 칼 남기도 이나야 나 저도 좋나 가래 송 그랬으나 대 저랑 그 송버렸어 그래 가르치나 계속서 랑문이 근데 대나게 되고 남대가 그래 아니 더다 니가 제다 매일 같이 차대거라 다 뜻이 이나 니 용로고 말봐 대대 다 때문에 소소라는 뭐더라 다 되는 계속 분석 대한 봐서 대때는 다 대답 뭐 보직라 때는 드라민다 다 상임 무시 받지 통로 돈도 다 때나 랑인 게 다 대한반라고 짓더니 자투요 말 대대 대가라는 때는 대가라서 랑인 게 뭐로 봐다 뭔가 남대야 봐 봐. 다 됐다 랑인도 봉대 봐지 봉인도 랑으로 봐지
So the Buddha speaks to this, teaches on this. I mean, it turned off.
Someone joined. I think it's all right.
Good. So the Buddha talks about individual karmic appearances, where whatever I personally experience some given thing as is true to me and is experienced as being true and existent, and the ramifications of it are there for me. So that realm of the individual experience of something is what we call relative truth. So the Buddha does not say that that does not exist, that's not there at all. He says that it is there and experienced to individuals based on their own karmic appearances. And that's what we call relative truth. Or for example, if the mosquito that's been eating my flesh were to go to the Buddha, or maybe all the mosquitoes that perceive what I call my body as their food, go to the Buddha and ask him, so what is this? Is this our food, or is it his body? Well, the Buddha's going to say to the mosquitoes, well, it's clearly your food. And then maybe later I'll go to the Buddha and I'll ask, well, what is this right here? Is this the mosquito food, or is it my body? Then I'll say, it's clearly your body to me. So all that is within the realm of relative truth, the individual experiences that arise based on an individual karmic experience. So any given object, any given thing will be experienced and appear distinctly to two individuals. So that fact that no one given thing can be experienced or appear in a single way to two individuals shows the ultimate truth of the nature of all things being not truly established, not truly existent. And the aspect of all things being beyond being truly existent as any single given thing is the aspect of ultimate truth, which is also what's being described in the famous saying, appearing while empty, empty while appearing. It's also said, appearance is relative truth, emptiness is ultimate truth.
다당가랑 수시름이 보는 순간나기. 조 공바니는 조소. 조레자 공바니 지야마예. 공바니레자 조기야 마예노소. 아니 다테도 차요.
So we investigate in these ways, analyze in this way, and then we arrive at an understanding of that which is expressed in the Heart Sutra. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Emptiness is no other than form, form is no other than emptiness.
알았어. 근데 손상스 다 대답을 되는 땡가랑 속에 주대라야. 근데 다 말한 속에 당고 들어봐지. 다 퇴바지니 근데 뒤도 답이도. 근데 되나요? 공고를 마도 마고나 다 하나님들의 인사에 삼견이 말한 속에 뒤박차때 도구요 말해. 해도요 말해.
So in these sorts of ways, then we progressively train, beginning by receiving, listening to teachings on this, and then analyzing for ourselves, investigating, thinking about it. And then a third, habituating ourselves through meditation to the meaning, cultivating the meaning in our own experience. If we lack this final element, if we don't meditate on the meaning, cultivating it in our own experience, then simply having a semblance of an understanding, thinking, I'm pretty sure it's just like this, that's how it seems, then without really taking it into our experience, that type of understanding lacks the power to reverse the habitual imprints in our mind streams.
그래서 딱 말하는 좀 출비 나왔는데 너네 아무 노고면 노고 출비를 하기 시. 노고 출비 나왔다. 나와도 매로고라. 출비 나와도 노고면 아무 출바이 임바듯이. 랑hin기 때문에 시제는 내가 말하는 저기 랑hin기 때문에 아니 나도 공제제는 네 시제가 없어.
So in order to reverse or counteract our deluded appearances, then first we have to understand the nature of things. Meaning we need to initially understand our delusion, understand that we're deluded and what the delusion is. Once we have that understanding, then we have to cultivate the experience of it. And through cultivating the experience of it through meditation, then we gain certainty.
다 대답이 지는데 딱 말하는 저도 지게네. 다 원비시를 ini cerita tadi kan nyamsel aja nyamber siapa kan nyamber jauh tu kapsul tak tinggal tu yang pernah ini sini ke kapsul ini cerita nyamsel siapa tahu ini yang tahu kapsul nyamsel siapa lah nyamber siapa tu nak cekal cerita sama ini yang cerita ni lo ini tak akhir mati 니로는 균생이라 소가 근데 지금 마시베 톤이 냠발이 잡을까 지게 다 덴바 톤이 근데 다 말하는 거지 덴바 톤께는 내시 지야바인데 근데 다 치마대 근데 다 운이 지금 알아서 근데 다 싸바 니오모 받아서 싸바 중경지 하고 하고서는 근데 영어서 그냥 추바대 재밌을 거라고 뭐마티기 다 출비기 싸와도 보는다. 치드 출비기 싸와 출비기 고마 그래서 주마게 가능이 맞는 렉처리 출나온 것들이 싸와도 도도고 여러 손다. 근데 되게 돌이다 배치를 채고 쳐.
So then the wisdom that arises through meditation, this third phase of wisdom, Gompe Shiro. is the wisdom experience when resting in meditative equipoise. So we have resting in meditative equipoise, or the meditation of calm abiding. And then we have the meditative equipoise, or meditation of Lojong, direct insight, Vipassana. So the aspect of the actual just resting in meditation is no different, actually. In both, you're simply remaining in a state of meditative equipoise. However, in the first, meditative equipoise of simple or mere calm abiding, there's been no analysis into the true nature and no direct seeing of the natural state. You're simply abiding in a state that has not seen the true nature of reality. In the second style of training in meditative equipoise meditation, then you're resting in a state of seeing directly with certainty, literally, the truth of things. So that type of meditation, resting in a state of meditative equipoise that sees directly the natural state, then that type of meditation is absolutely able to cut through at the very root all afflictive emotions. Because it has seen directly the very nature of delusion and deluded appearance. So having seen the nature of a delusion, one is no longer deluded, one is aware. And through that awareness of the true nature of things, how things actually are, one is not contaminated by delusion, and one, by that power of seeing, all impediment, all affliction is cut through. So that's the real dividing line, the difference between calm abiding meditative equipoise and direct insight meditative equipoise, is this aspect of seeing the natural state. And when your meditation practice based on the seeing of emptiness is free from any fixation to emptiness, then that stage of a meditative concentration is called the samadhi, or meditative concentration of samadhi of dharmata, free from conceptual fixation, or also called the samadhi of the sugatas, which is the third phase, third level of a samten meditative concentration, as we were talking about before. And that stage of meditative concentration, that style of practice of meditation, is the meditation of beings abiding on the bodhisattva bhumis, who are training truly in the realization of suchness.
日常的杂长的long长的的sem长在一个做着我记得电脑一样那一个大这个了做这样的你民生病了你两分钟我都解决了这个了做两分钟差不多解决的样子来搞
So when meditating, and all of these phases, we set up your body in a similar fashion, in 7-point posture and so forth, and as it's taught. When the body is straight, the channels are straight. When the channels are straight, the lung, the subtle energy, flows straight. When the subtle energies flow straight, the mind becomes straight. And then training, meditating in a state free of clinging to anything, fixating on anything in the mind, remaining in states of meditative equipoise, then that's how we practice our meditation.
네, 상지게 장, 네, 따고 검접을 살아. 상지가 땡엔드는 요바다, 땡엔드는 인과성이, 너 서만도 베네다 시도 비보나 가야 되는 여러. 베네다 아니 상지 때는 땡엔드는 냐발 요소서. 다 상지 땡엔드는 냐발 요. 아니 다 되는 거죠야 땡엔드는 야다 디 값을 때는 상지게 지요. 아니야. 장초선 받아다 제련세당 제련세기 때문에 주 신jel랍지 콘나니 내 거기 깨야 제들 사지 띵에들 여기도 양 사지 띵에들 야 얘네 아니 다 나기 벌레서 렉소스 대대긴데서 대나기 사지가 노타미도 딱 벌도가 띵에들 요 띵에들 jinsin 사지가 뭔게 띵에들 요수도 검제되어 소요 저기 사지가 검제 보고도 맞아 그건 맞으면 나 산지에서 쓰는 램이다. 아니, 땡겨는 이거도 봐. 그것도 두스레.
So the Buddha too is always meditating. You always hear about the Buddha entering into or abiding in a state of samadhi and then rising up from a state of samadhi. And all the sutras, often many different sutras, reiterate this again and again. And thus the Buddha was, the bliss gone one, was abiding in such and such state of samadhi. And the Buddha arose from such and such state of samadhi. For example, in the Heart Sutra too. And the Buddha was abiding in this state of samadhi and blessed the mind stream of the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Chinrezi, who then gave the discourse of the Heart Sutra in discussion with the Bodhisattvas and Arhats. And then at the conclusion, the Buddha arose from his state of samadhi and pronounced, it is excellent, thus it is, thus it is. And in all these different sutras, they talk about the Buddha remaining in samadhi, remaining in meditative equipoise. So the Buddha too, to directly seeing the nature of things, is constantly meditating, remaining in samadhi.
다 대답을 산지라요. 아니 말한 주고 빼나 아니 냠바라 야비 값어. 나한테서 매고를 했어. 매로를 했어. 이 말이었어. 나한테서 얘네 이거 좋아. 산지 아니 말한 주고 나와 탐지. 말함다. 주마다. 나츠 나와 짬마체. 심게 노아리도 심게 타데비 나와 탐지. 산지가 이식이 챙겨요. 내 마치는 산지를 제발면으로 봐. 어저 챔바요래. 어저 내 탐지. 랑인가 주반라오지. zigayoma. Nga tsuga pena, malamga nangdo, tene chik, nga tsuga nawa. Nga tsuga dagun zimba jetam chiki, malam gna도 나와 혀 대라가 대라도 되는 시행하기 강을죠 네 닉스나 가야면 이내 맞아 닉 값 하고요 왜나 대나기 다른 게 다대비게 나와 탐지 되는 맞아 산이 지는 거요 이내 대탐지 제방 가고 오고요 이내 대탐지 되는 주마다 마람 따위시나 지가요라 더도 되는 추탐지장 대답하고 답변해 주세요 이내 주마다 마람 잠도 이내 다 지금 알아서 따고 그때는 지금 와서 이내 어다 때려서 지금 때문에 때는 지금 다 로버트 지금 알아서 답지 어다 때려서 잘 되게 그랬어
For the Buddhas too, when resting and remaining in meditative equipoise, as if that when they're in such states that all appearances simply go away, dissipate. No, it isn't. There is still appearance. For us as individuals, we have our own single individual experience of things. For the fully enlightened beings, the Buddhas, all the purviews of all sentient beings appear to them. They experience and directly see the all different experiences, perspectives of all individuals. If they didn't, they couldn't be said to be omniscient. But of course, while being able to directly see the perspectives of experience of all sentient beings, they understand and likewise see directly that none of it truly exists. That everything, all appearances are like a dream or like an illusion in being free of independent true existence. Where for us, likewise, when we wake up in the morning, then we in an instant recognize, understand that the dream experiences that we had throughout the night were simply that, dream experiences, not truly existent, not real. But as long as we were asleep, then whatever appeared, we fixated on as being truly existent, and based on that had different experiences of happiness and sorrow. Based on happiness, then we prolonged different things. Based on suffering, we prolonged different things. And but as soon as we woke, we saw that all of that was untrue. So in a similar way, the Buddhas see at all times, as they are awake at all times, they see the entirety of all the appearances, perspectives of all beings as being exactly like a dream, illusory. Simply the temporary arisings based on causes and conditions and dependent origination.
다 고통 나한테 대답을 해주지. 다 남편한테 나한테 다 대답을 해. 다 남편한테 어느 다 남편한테 다 물어봐. 남편한테 다 남편에게 대답해 주세요. 다 맞추고 빼는 셈셈을 다 가다 남편한테 셈. 다야 호랑 그걸 서로 따지지 당바이나. 되네. 셈대 알았어요. 지금 아니 다 여발에서는 아니 양 여배 뭐 보러 오지 카페에 던지요 말 매발에서는 양 말한 저거 아니 되는 말한 저거 아니 김혜장이지 레요 말 되지 손사 다 강하다 그 셈대 아니 다 말한 저거 빼도 주세요 아니 다 여봐 매봐 되는다 다 유민이 같이 하요 니가 많이 빠지 하요 그래서 다 되게 뭐라 되는 소리다 내용도 값어 되는다 유미 이민게 다 탐지다 잘하는데라 되는다 담담 빼나 아니 다 되라 가르쳐 아니 동서만 갔다 왔어 다 되라 오늘 옹기도 나와 나오는 갔다 왔더라 다 용체 먹었어 다 시럽이 바로 듣지 마세요. 다 내래 때는 사고지 가서 심지어지 기분도 와. 다 심지어게 되는 요라 때는다 예전에 때는다 다 되게 카톡이 예전에 때 있었다. 네 대라다 시럽이 바로 듣지 마세요. 다 대다고 시럽이 바로 듣지 마. 강의 받대. 아니 주주인이 주주인 아니 때나이 주주인 세고요. 용치모 세고요. 대다고 강의 받디 되네 나나 되네 냐버리 조가 되나요? 시럽이 바로 듣지 마. 근데 다 말한 속에 되네. 다 가서 되나. 너 따위나 되네. 다 돈이 남들 돈이 가서 다 남들 보som 세우지. 돈이 남들 보som. 남들 때네 다 돈이 남들 가서 남들 보som 됐죠. 뭐다 투세고 사대. 나 따르지 다 기타한게 지나 되네. 나 따르지나 되네. 말하는 속. 야, 맨날 모여와 사자 지고서 바다스로 간다들이 타도 무슨 기반 인사래. 일단은 바지에 아주 길을 걸었지만 딱 타면 누비
So that's how appearances are. And then the subject to which things appear to. So the subjective aspect, the subject, which also we call mind, the sem. So if we investigate that, we turn the lens of analysis inward towards the subjective experience of appearance and analyze that, then likewise, there's we ask ourselves, does the mind, does this self that experiences things exist? Well, then there's no actual thing that can be shown. There's no thing that is a self, the subject that's experiencing things. So we can't say it exists as a given thing. And then likewise, it doesn't not exist, as it's not a vacuous nothingness. There's the cognizant aspect to it. So through we analyze the subjective aspect, the self, arriving at the understanding beyond all conceptual extremes, meaning beyond the extreme of existence, non-existence, both existing and non-existing, or neither existing nor not existing. These four, the summations of all conceptual extremes fit within these four. And when you look directly at the essence of mind, then you are working to gain the experience of the essence of mind, which goes beyond all conceptual extremes of existence, non-existence, neither, or both. And that essence of mind, that experience is said to be like the empty clarity of space, or it's also called Yung Chenmo, the Great Mother, which is the supreme thing to be known. Of all things that can be known, this is the highest thing that can be known. The transcendent wisdom beyond all conceptual understanding or conceptual knowable things, which is also why it's called the wisdom of the transcendent far shore, the transcendent wisdom, wisdom that goes beyond all conceptual framework. So we call it at once transcendent wisdom, we call it Dharma Dhatu, the basic space of phenomena, we call it Yung Chenmo, the Great Mother. And resting in the state of the experience of that, then in different contexts is called different things. In the sutra vehicle, we call this the state of emptiness endowed with the three complete liberations. In mantra vehicle, there are many different names for this. We call it Mahamudra, we call it Kata, primordial purity, a number of different names. So in any event, that's our brief summation on transcendent wisdom.
Ini tak kacang ngaco goni isu ba. Ngaco ta harus dicoba contoh kecil dina ini ta de kecil karena
Lapchasam.
oh
Lapchasam.
labza karena ini dia tu ini labza somla ini karena lapasom nanti dores. 다 트렌 라바솜데 양제바 되고라. 다 라바솜데 양제 되베이나. 이니 니차로. 가르세나 다 에니 라바스 다 베네트네 수참당 이니 다 띵인생가 라바테서 이니 다 나죠. 이니 탑지차 대탐지 탑지 차르드 애니 동반이 때 시르부 차르드 다 카도그 애니 다 가서 특바시엠데 온도 탈투바데 애니 다 아니 가르세바 애니 제니는 데로 탑지 시르부 다 탑지 차탐지 닝게르드 시르부 차탐지 동이르드 대양 동이게 되는 쟁가란서 안에 양 인계돼요. 타대바 많이 받지.
통일대.
왜나다 동이데 동도 되네. 철비선 되나랑 인거 인계도 제요. 왜는 니마도 하선도. 야 인계 코로나 되네. 랑 인계 지 초바다오지 가야메도 꼭 거기 동이를 터. 너네다 타마데 동이 인계 대양 탈레마이가 동인계 성적 되는 직차를 갖다가 그래서
So when we started these teachings on the 6 paramitas, we said that the 6 paramitas can be subsumed down into what we call the 3 trainings. So now today we're going to break down the 3 trainings even further. So the 3 trainings can be broken down into the 2 aspects of skillful means and transcendent wisdom, where the trainings of ethics and meditative concentration, or samadhi, those 2 fit within the classification of skillful method, or skillful means. And then emptiness is the training in transcendent wisdom. So we have wisdom and method. So the really the ultimate enlightened intent, the ultimate meaning of the Mahayana can in its entirety be broken down into these 2 aspects of skillful means and wisdom, which likewise are synonymous with compassion and emptiness. So method applies to compassion and emptiness applies to wisdom. That being said, emptiness is never separate from compassion. They aren't 2 separate things in actuality. For an individual who realizes emptiness, who has a genuine realization of emptiness, then compassion for sentient beings spontaneously radiates out from that experience of the realization of emptiness, like the sun and the rays of the sun. But then likewise, compassion, the compassion that radiates out from there, or any given compassion, in essence is always empty, is not truly established, is not truly existent, is never separate from its empty essence. So really the ultimate intent of the Mahayana is the realization and teaching on the unity of compassion and emptiness.
다 트레인 들이가서 타마리 들이son다 나라서 드나다 인트레인 뒤에 버리는다 산지 빠제 다 트레인 빠샤초 있는데 빠제 주인지로
주시
주인
죽수 낭니
맞아
낭 원이야
맞아
간자랑 샤초다 죽수 주시
주인 다 산인들이 다 타마들 다 다른 나라도 다 데스기들이 당봉나서 떼스기다 뭔지차 전에 뒤장 뭐 하는데 전에 다 말하면서 다 다들 샤브자서 당가 빠체 샤고 숨잔 로야사요 빠체 숨잔 셈 다스 레메
Shabya.
로중 샤브자서요 맞아 안 숨잔 로야사요 나 트레인 드린 거라서 다 살아지 되니까
So today marks our final day of teachings on our Lojong practice. So today, at least in Asia right now, is the 14th day of Sagadawa. And tomorrow is the 15th day, holiest day of the Tibetan Buddhist calendar. So our timing just happened to fall on such a auspicious, fortuitous occasion. And so now we can conclude. We'll meditate briefly together, and then perform dedication and aspiration prayers. And so our teachings and study practice of Lojong, our Lojong tradition of the 100-day retreat, 100-day practice of Lojong. Well, for us, it seemed to take about 300 some days. In any event, we are concluding now. Concluded our 100-day teachings on Lojong.
네. 다 저건 로제나 나타나 참을 봐. 얘는 산지 같으니 마 군다텔라 마 냠버리야. 되니 토랑에 야다 상지 버봐. 다 나서 도스지는 다다다 베나 조비 산지 그 가레 남바나게 제제네. 근데 말한 소다 마 냠바게 샤. 아니 다 같이 가르스 에네. 인연은 왔담지. 아니 뜻담지 마. 좀 아니 상지 토바시 제벌 삼지 되다가 참마더니 냠게지 주고가
Tanda get Carla Torang Toksuma Tok. So right now in India, it's middle of the night, and the Buddha Shakyamuni entered into his final state of meditative equipoise before reaching complete enlightenment in the evening, and then gained complete realization in the pre-dawn hour. Where, so now for us, we can rest in meditation, thinking in a similar sense, thinking that just how the Buddha Shakyamuni entered into meditative equipoise and completely vanquished the entirety of the host of maras and all afflictive emotions. I too must gain that same realization through the power of meditation. I too will do that. So giving rise to that sense of endeavor and fortitude in our mind and commitment, then we can rest in meditation.
엔진들은 제발 타디에 때문에 님을 두안이 하기 때문에 조금 사진은 다운받아야 자서 나 소스는 다 네. 맞아. 다 담아대. 네. 뭐나 챙이. 네. 다 그냥 안 좋다. 네. 제가 듣는 제가 다 다 samma David Sanjay tamde wan pela ta jata no ba ma yombi Sanjay jone tamde jata wan za ba yejen da ne ta da yu ne ta ba de ji sa la su ma ja ju su ba la wan za ba ta ge ja ta yin ru bu ka su ma je te ba je ba sam ba je gon ba je ba te tham je 대인도 다 다다 네네 내가 냠서라 마음과 냠서 렌즈 아니 대다탐 제정되는 단 냠서야 렌즈 돈제 아니 심지어 탐제 사이도 그것도 비치도 노요 삼바진 렌즈
Now we conclude with dedication and aspiration prayers. As we're reciting these, we can think in exactly the same way that all Buddhas, completely realized beings of the past, have dedicated, and in the same way that all the Buddhas of the future will dedicate. And just as the current holders of the Buddha Dharma, the Bodhisattvas, and realized beings presently with us, dedicate their roots of virtue, I too will dedicate in accord with them. And likewise, gathering together all forms of virtue from our extensive or long standing practices of listening to, contemplating, and meditating on teaching. Whatever virtue has been amassed from that, accomplished in the past, whatever spiritual practices I'm currently engaging in and the virtues arising from them, and likewise whatever virtue I will ever engage in the future, along with the entirety of all virtues of all beings, all of that gathered together, I dedicate on behalf of every single sentient being attaining complete enlightenment. So now as we're making these dedication and aspiration prayers, really have this sense of dedication in our minds. Page 12. In English first. By this merit may I attain omniscience, and thereby vanquish all harmful enemies, liberating beings from the turbulent waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death in this ocean of existence. Just as the omniscient, heroic Manjushri and Kundasampo have done, so too shall I, by following and training accordingly. Thus I dedicate all of this virtue. Since all victorious ones abiding in the three times praise dedication as being supreme, for the sake of noble conduct, I myself will thoroughly dedicate these seeds of happiness. Then in Tibetan. So nam mi
tamje sengwani thomna nyebe dana pamje jega na jebana Sirpin dolen droba shung jambara bawe jitra jimba dang kundo sangbu deyang deyin deda kunjir jesong gewa deda tamje rabdo mu dirvam yebe jarwa tamje owa kangam chodong Dayin gebe tawa degum yang sangbo chocha rabdo mu bayi Ve korbe shingam so pendan dewa madu jume Tiren sewa tenzi gyamso Shape sinti pardo tenjo shi
Swasti Yavaya Isi Lojong Gyalju Sama Tenzin Cho Kuze Takten Zeke Rajesho. Page 14. I pray for the excellent health of the teacher. I pray for supreme long life as well. I pray for the ever-increasing expansion of miraculous activity. Grant blessings that I may never be separate from the Lama. At this very moment, for the people and nations of this earth, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard, but rather may pure conduct, merit, wealth, and prosperity increase, and may supreme good fortune and well-being always arise.
다 드니 다 give 자원들 땡체 얘네 다 인지kenje comes 저는 네급치 지금 가서 얘네 마초 네서 용화게 되니 지금 얘네 다 가서 용조 나서고 얘네 지금 가서 파세단지 셔야 얘네 다 얘네 대나게 라포트 다 말한 주변 여초도 다 던져 이나야 다 지금 가서 얘네 얘네 가르세봐 아니 마토다 대나게 다 지금 용화 다 포샤라 소바다다 니거다 타도 파시도 시야다 대나게 그때는 다 지금 아니 심지어 담지 유럽장 교육 설명 뭐지 제제 그다음에 있었다 아치 시대야 디렉터는 사용 말하는 그 제제 그다음에 되죠 담당 네 어떤 스케줄인데 사용하는
Now, thinking that based on the power of the virtue we've engaged in and all virtue that's ever been amassed or will be amassed, that based on the power of that all the obstacles, discordant factors arising from disturbances, disruption of the elements, conflicts, war, weapons, injury, conflicts of weaponry, global conflicts, global disturbances, whatever obstacles, hindrances to bringing about states of well-being and happiness on both the temporary and ultimate level, and also for the sake of bodhicitta, mind of enlightenment arising in the mind streams of every single sentient being, and for the peace and well-being of the world to come about, that we dedicate the entirety of all this, all virtue there is and will ever be and has ever been, on behalf of all of that. So thinking that, with that in our mind, then we can recite this prayer on page 14 again, thinking that way. The second prayer. At this very moment, for the people and nations of this earth, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard, but rather may pure conduct, merit, wealth, and prosperity increase, and may supreme good fortune and well-being always arise. Now page 11, prayer to end session. Intro. In English, appearances, sound, and awareness are experienced as the deity, mantra, and dharmakaya. Within this vast expanse is the display of enlightened embodiments and primordial wisdom. Through the practice of the great yoga of the profound secret, may we remain indivisible with the essential essence of the one taste of enlightened mind. In all my lifetimes, may I meet with perfectly pure spiritual teachers, and remaining inseparable, may I utilize the glorious Dharma. supremely perfecting all qualities and talents on the stages and paths. May I swiftly achieve the state of the glorious Lama.
Voilà, so teni ta dini eni yang ta de yong dang eni ta cho eni ta sa le yu cha jin na le yu de ni chang ma la eni ta ma rang de ring eni ta yin ni bo te ni ma rang so wo so ba de tren de ni yang ta ta ji de cho ba eni chang ma la ta ji shu yi 저번 맞에 대응 안 하고 다지 렘들 손속과 나오지 마치 말이과 얘네 랑리라고 지 다 뒤쳐버지 사가다와 대양 되는 다 가서 아니 담이다 상지 지금 아주 토랑 상기야와다 다 음바르기 음바르조베 상기야위 다 뒤쳐버진다고 지다 배에 돌기 되었다 하는 자갈지다 다다 같이 얘기를 ini kita tiang orang sobat cik,
Tadarang ini.
tadarang le, dah, kena ini songsan, tiang orang sobat cari mampu se, jangan yang samsala, macam cita tu mare, macam tadi dia terjadi tanda tegaran, ini tu bati, dah orang sobat, tiang orang sobat cik, ini, tension, jangan macam apa. 춘가이어가 마이노 송간나이 덴드 네페 미스바테네 다 야보레송 에네 참말로 아니 못티게 에네 투담 냐네 야보 나오나 투제체 이데
To all of you that are physically here present, join our teachings, and to those of you in all the different directions that join via the internet, thank you all, and Tashidalek, auspicious wishes. And we have, today marks the excellent conclusion to our Lojong teachings that we've been engaging in for quite a long time now. And they've come to a perfect conclusion very well. Also, in relation to that, we have the auspicious interdependence of the holiest occasion of the Buddhist calendar year just happening to coincide with the conclusion of these teachings. And we didn't try to plan it that way. It just so happened that we're concluding right now. In fact, right now, it is probably the pre-dawn hour in India, in Bodh Gaya right now, commemorating the exact anniversary of the Buddha Shakyamuni attaining nirvana, complete enlightenment. Which, yes, it seemed like it's right now. And we didn't plan it that way. We didn't plan for these teachings that have been going on for so long to just so happen to end right now. This is truly an auspicious, interdependent situation just automatically happening like this. It's funny, sometimes we try really hard to plan things to coincide right and everything to go right, and it often ends up we're a little late, we're a little early. And then on other occasions, things just seem to automatically line up and happen, just like how they are now. This really is a truly wonderful, auspicious interdependence happening right now. This occurred for us right now. So that's great, and thank you all for joining us, and Rinpoche encourages us all to meditate and practice well. So thanks for attending, and Tashidalek.
Lasso.
Thank you. Thank you.
就是嘛，那个啥的，是吧？ 아, 무슨 나라? 나를 준비해. 준비가 돌아오는 거. 준비가 돌아오는 좀 돌아오는 데는 산지는 거. 나다. 준비가 공사는 양반이 좀 돌아오는 산지에 거라. 나다. 가서 주소 먹어서 준비해. 좀 돌아오는 산지에다. 딱 깔만 들고 한다고 그래가지고 호랑이 선생님 주소 말을 듣기도 하다 써있네. 네. 나 쏘나. 좀 고소를 가세요.
When did we start Lojong teaching? In the fall?
Maybe around December 2016?
Lojong check something.
이거 제가 나와.
Lojong Sang-ngag
장갑이야.
500 day.
야, 500대 로경 잉글리시 다시 될래.